Hi everyone, my name is Dan. Welcome to the Torah Times channel. Today, I guess this is like 2 days after Yom Kippur. Well, when did I get this box? I got this box, I guess a couple days before Yom Kippur. But I decided to save the unboxing for you because this is an important moment in the scroll of biblical chronology. It's what I hope to be the final update for quite a while to the scroll of biblical chronology and ancient Near Eastern history. Okay, so let's get to the unboxing and see what we've got. Okay, here's the box, straight from the printer, Ingram Spark. So let's get to the unboxing here. The box hasn't been opened, but I'm pretty sure I know what's in it. Nicely packed here. Okay, little packing material. Okay, there's the first volume on top. Volume 1, Scroll of Biblical Chronology and Ancient Near Eastern History. That's about as close as I can get it to the camera on this setting for you. Okay, let's flip it open and see what we got. Color charts throughout. Lots of detail. Okay, this is 7th edition, 0.7.2. So I really haven't made any significant changes since the 6th edition. The .2 represents minor changes and updates. Okay, let's get a closer view of this. Okay, we got all the books out of the box here. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 volumes in the case. That's 2 volumes for you. I think it's like 206 pages, although there's no page numbers in here, except for the introduction pages here, which are in Roman numerals. And that's because the reference system from this book is the far left column here, which is BC years, okay? BC AD. Okay, so we got them out of the box. Let's get one volume out here and get a closer look at the charts. Okay, here. Okay, here I've got the box that has the proof volume in it. We're not going to use one of the volumes from the other box because we want to keep them in as brand new a condition as we can, all dry and sealed away. I'm pulling out the proof volume here for you. Let's see. Scroll of Biblical Chronology and Ancient Near Eastern History. Okay, we'll lay that up. Okay, now we will zoom in here. We've got to turn it around for you to be right side up in the frame there. There you go. Turn it over here. Back up a little bit. Okay, we'll open it up. All right, here you go. Approximately 50 pages of introduction here. There's a preface. A guide on the chart layout, how to use charts. Okay, and you can see this is a 8.5 by 11 book here. Pretty much every page is filled up with text or graphics or chart. Introduction is just a basic introduction to the chronology. Okay, here's the, and turn it this way. See how you turn your camera sideways. Okay, we have to back it up here a little for you. There we go. Okay, now it's really, really hard to capture the physical properties of this book on camera because of its size and then the speed with which it goes to detail. I've learned something in videographing, and that is that the human eye actually, in the natural, without camera or video, actually sees better than any camera ever. Okay, and that's because the human eye sees about 3 degrees of color and a little more on black and white. But what's happening is it's creating a mental image of what you see in your brain or in your mind, so that you look around and the mind is compositing all the things it sees. So the human eye is focusing on everything, gathering the detail in. The human eye can move from something large to something small faster and more conveniently than a camera can. It can adjust to light and dark more faster than a camera can. All right, so I'm just underlining the importance of seeing the actual physical here. Okay, so there's not much to tell from Adam to Noah. It's a basic chronology, so I put some text in here. We get down to the flood here. You see there's some white space on these pages. Okay, then things really get exciting after the flood. This is because after the flood we can do archaeology and other ancient Near Eastern sources. So we can bring in the Sumerians here, right along here. We can bring in a estimated population growth over here. We can bring in the 3rd dynasty of Egypt here. I didn't put in the first 2 dynasties because they were in Upper Egypt and we're very uncertain about how much to compress the time on that. Okay, so the years on the chart run from, you have to turn the book sideways like I got it here, but they run continuously right over the gap. Okay, our CF card got full, so you'll see a skip. Okay, so I'm going to back up here to the 3rd dynasty of Egypt here. Okay, didn't put in the first 2 dynasties because the timing on those is too uncertain. We have over here Ebla and Mari, and we have Sargon of Akkad. This red column is the Akkadian Empire over here. Continues down to the opposite page here. Okay, we have the Sumerians. It's stereotypically Sumer and Akkad, or Sumer came first. Back up a page here. Okay, so we have around the time of the Tower of Babel here. Confusion of the languages, and then we have the Sumerians here. Okay, post Babel Sumerians, world population growth. Okay, we saw this page here with Egypt. We have here we go. The Gudian kings, which are detailed in the Sumerian king list. We have Ebla in the purple, and we have a red period here for Mari because they were taken over by Akkad for a while. The Mari emerges as independent over here. Okay, I have when the pyramids were built. You can see these triangles here, these sandstone colored triangles. All right. Uruk or Erech. Next page. Ur-3. Probably one of the most famous kings of Ur-3 would be Shulgi. Okay, and I have this famous eclipse here in the fine print. Okay, what this is useful for is this is a reference tool. So when you're reading your Bible and you want to know where something goes in history in reference to the nations around it, you can look it up in here. Here's when Abraham left Haran, when his father died, Terah, age 205 here. Abram, age 75. This is Ur 3 over here. I'll get on the right page here. Ur 3. Lifespan of Isaac here. I have some archaeological periods over here. Middle Bronze 1. Middle Bronze 2. We have the 7 years of abundance in Egypt here. And the king was, you can look over here and you can find out who the king of Egypt was. Amenemhet III. Okay, and he was co-regent with his father, Senuseret III. Actually, he starts back on the previous page. Okay, also called Sesostris III. Okay, and then I have in the Egyptian chronology some lunar datings, boxed in red, reference to them. Egyptian chronology fits in 25-year phases, or you can shift it around 25 years, so you have to use other clues to figure out where it goes. Okay, we have the, I guess this would be the Kultepe eponym list here, and reparation of a section of it here. So this would be the Naram Sin of Assyria. So we have the whole Assyrian king list over here. Okay, we have the, here's the repaired system of the eponym list here. We have the takeover of Hyksos in Egypt. Okay, the first one was Salatis. Okay. And they didn't enslave the children of Israel right away. They were battling the other Egyptians, dynasties in other parts of Egypt before they took over. So you see the 13th dynasty in parallel here with the Hyksos. The second king of the Hyksos is Hayan. Okay, birth of Joshua. I'll get the right side of the page here. Birth of Joshua, Caleb. Okay. I'll talk about this in more detail in other videos. Samuel. Saul. Well, David was born during the reign of Saul, so here's his age right here. Solomon. Divided kingdom. You go down to the divided kingdom here. You can pause the video if you want to look closer. You'll see things in here that I'm not talking about. Jeroboam II. Period of time of the great earthquake. You got some, actually there's some geological evidence for this. Hezekiah. Like I said, the chronology continues right through the gap in the between the pages here. There's a gap. It'll fit together. If you were to cut the pages out and paste them together, you could make a long scroll out of this. Well, actually, you couldn't because I'm using the reverse side of the pages, but I guess you'd need 2 copies to do that effectively. But you could do that. You could look at some of my really old videos from more than four years ago, and you'll see me using a scroll. But this chronology is vastly more detailed and updated since then. Okay, priestly genealogy here. Nehemiah. So here we have over here. These columns are the sabbatical and jubilee system. So we start counting out for Daniel 9. I have down here. I have datings for the Elephantine papyri. Here's where the Greeks overthrew the Persians under Alexander the Great. And then Alexander didn't last very long. The kingdom got divided up between 4 of his generals. The Seleucid era, or actually Seleucid eras. Okay, and these are the different Greek Antiochus, Seleucus in the north, and then Macedonia. Antiochus IV, great persecutor of Jewish Israel underneath the Maccabees. Jonathan Maccabee. Oh, we're off the page there. There we go. Jonathan Maccabee. Okay, look over here in this column on this side. We have the BC column again. I put in the year of Rome here too, because the Roman Empire is significant. So these red numbers, that's the year of Rome. Okay, 14 BC, or is that AD? I think I went too many pages. Now here we go. Herod the Great conquered Jerusalem, 38 BC. That's Dio, or Cassius Dio's dating. Okay, and that'll all be explained in volume 2. The purpose of this volume is a reference tool. This volume shows you when it happened. The other volume will tell you how I came to the conclusions. Okay, Yeshua in his father's house. Okay, this is when he was age 12, so this column is his age here. Okay, we cover, there's my notes page. I'm always looking for things to correct or update a little bit. It's not a major update. Okay, crucifixion, Passover. Life of Paul, Great Fire of Rome. Okay, and we don't just end with biblical chronology. We keep going. So we have the Second Jewish Revolt here. Put in lifespans of the church fathers. And some of the more disagreeable things, I put some quotations from what they said as mainstream Christianity, or what became traditional Christianity, departed from the Messianic faith and became the majority. Okay. It's a Catholic Church and then reformed partly into the Protestant Church later. We've got Parthia over here. They were the big superpower that Rome was in conflict. The Roman emperors. They have, what's all this over here? This is the Zohar tombstones, datings on the Zohar tombstones. So this is charting it out, but this is sabbatical years over here, and this will all be explained in volume 2. Actually, the Zohar tombstones are pretty inclusive. So many people think that you can get some significant information out of them. Still have to discuss them even if we get a negative result. Okay. More Zohar tombstones. Okay. We're in the 5th century over here. Okay. Rise of Islam. Different Muslim caliphs. Really different phases of the Muslim domination in the Middle East here. We have Constantinople. We hear some of the rulers of the Byzantine Christian Empire, which was in constant conflict with Islam. Start tracing the Franks over here. Charlemagne. Okay, we arrived in the 9th century here. Actually, skip the page. The 8th century here. Okay, all of the Viking attacks on Europe here are detailed in great detail. Okay, and then I'll start putting in some English kings over here. This would be, let me put my glasses on to see it for you. Beorhtric of Wessex. Okay, so Wessex was an important kingdom in Britain. More Viking attacks. Eventually the Vikings were converted to Christianity. You have Eric the Red, who never became a Christian, but his son Leif Erikson converted to Christianity. And then after that, of course, the Norse or Viking savagery dropped off really quickly. Okay. English monarchs over here. This is mostly about biblical history, so I mean, I could put a lot more stuff in here, but maybe someday. It's not really necessary. You start getting into phases, where important Jewish events happen. This is actually the Jewish Year of the World over here. Okay, and this is the Hurban, or the destruction era of the temple, as currently reckoned. The Jews are in dispute as to 1 year as to the way it was reckoned. They go back a bunch of pages here. We'll see the alternate reckoning of the Hurban here, destruction era. Okay. Lots of details about the Reformation, and actually dragging up a lot of dirt in the history of the Reformation. We are, it's 1843. Okay. William Miller there. We got to back up for the Reformation here. Okay, this is the Reformation period, so basically exposing some of the side of the history of the Reformation that people don't know about, because the church is always glorifying the Reformation. So it should be pointed out that did not really restore the Messianic faith. It's still a majority view. The many. What were the Protestants protesting over? There's a paragraph here on that. The one thing they didn't protest over was the persecution of the Anabaptists. Oh, by your fruits you shall know them. That's important. Okay. I skip to the end here. American presidents, British kings and queens, Israeli prime ministers, Soviet. And the last page, and we stop here. And what year is this here? 2019. That's this year. Oh, I think you can't see the page anymore. There you go. 2019. Educated guesses begin here. Refer to eschatology. So I had some eschatological guesses in my former editions, but I took it out. There's going to be a little bit on that in volume 2, but everything in the future is a guess. So that's the volume 1 of the Scroll of Biblical Chronology and Ancient Near Eastern History. There you go. Now you can see it all. All right, Dan signing off.